Alright, here we are, Game 3 between Newbee and LGD. Newbee have a 2-0 lead over LGD, and we get right on into this draft as we take a look. Newbee, they've banned out Venomancer and Magnus, while LGD, they've banned out the Alchemist, Nyx, and Silencer. So, first two picks for Newbee, as well as LGD. Legion Commander and Earth Spirit for Newbee, and then Monkey King and Lena, again Lena, for LGD. So the Legion Commander out here, going to be there for KP. This is the second time he's played it this series. Played it back in Game 1. It did work out for him. And now we'll see if Newbee can close the series and shut the door and take this series 3-0. Naga going to be banned out by Newbee. And I wouldn't be, again, surprised to see Phantom Assassin come out one more time for Newbee. Works well against Lena. It's pretty hard. And then Queen's up if they do get themselves a duel. Disruptor, another option to go with this Earth Spirit again. But Crystal Maiden still on the board. And I wouldn't be surprised to see it come out from LGD, because Monkey King, Crystal Maiden is a solid duo in itself. So let's see.
10 seconds remaining.
Yeah, where are you the first time, game? Crystal Maiden's going to come out for one of these teams. It's a must at this point, I feel like.
Reserve time.
And usually around this third pick or so, the Chinese teams, they really do set up their draft pretty much in full at this point. So we'll see what they do. LGD, I would assume they go Crystal Maiden next. But they're going to go with the Sand King. Does that mean Newbee pick up Crystal Maiden? Because it's not going to be picked up for LGD now, because that's going to... Actually, that could be an offlane Sand King. Because they've got Monkey King already, unless they want to put Monkey King 5 and then put Sand King 4, and then for LGD still pick up a safe laner and an off laner. Really depends.
Reserve time.
But I would assume that Newbee, they pick up Crystal Maiden. I don't know how you can look it over so much, or at least up to this point, to the sheer fact that it's just such a good hero these days and works very well with Earth Spirit. It's one of the best combinations for duos that there is right now. So they're setting up their draft. They're trying to figure out what they're going to go with next. Could see LGD go with Omni Knight. Put Sand King 4, Monkey King 5. And maybe Newbee are talking that over. Because they could go safe lane, Legion Commander, and then go off lane, Omni Knight. Alright, so they're going to go Puck. So Puck, still not likely, but the likely thing is that Puck goes mid, Legion goes off lane, but we've seen Puck off lane before, and that could go with Legion safe lane. I'm not saying that's what's going to happen in this draft right now, but it's a possibility in the draft. So just keep that in mind when you see now that there's Puck, Legion, as well as the Earth Spirit. I'm still looking for that Crystal Maiden to come out from either of these teams. But for LGD, they've got the Lena. They're up against Puck. No Warlock to come out. Sand King if it's your 4, and Monkey King your 5. That means you need a safe laner and an off laner. And maybe they want to go Bat Rider, because the Nyx is banned out. You don't have to worry about that Firefly. If you get the lasso out on the Legion Commander, you can take it out, take out the Legion Commander quickly. Problem is, you don't want to really go with that Bat Rider because the purge that can come from Legion Commander is readily available. So Bat Rider's lasso wouldn't even be that good. You'd have to get the Legion every single time. So they go with the Dragon Knight, which... Does that turn this Lena into a support Lena? And then Sand King off lane, Dragon Knight mid? Interesting. Again, we'll have to see how they play that. And still, I'm on Team Crystal Maiden. I want Newbee to pick it. I think it's a very good combination. The fact that it's not banned and up to this point still not picked is really surprising. So let's see what they pick for this 4th pick for Newbee. And they still need a safe laner. If they don't go Legion Commander safe lane, Puck off lane, which again, that's a rare circumstance. I don't think they're going to go in that direction, but it is possible. Up to this point, you have to assume that Puck's mid, Legion Commander off lane. That leaves a safe laner for them, and Lifestealer still available. So maybe they think about getting the Lifestealer now, but they're going to go with the Morphling instead. All right.
LGD's turn to ban.
So Morphling safe lane, Legion off lane, Puck mid. That leaves the second support for Newbee yet to be picked. Now we're into the bans. I wouldn't be surprised to now see it banned out by LGD. No, Coddle. So they don't even think it's going to be picked up. Interesting. I guess I just favor this Crystal Maiden too much because we see it in Chinese competitive play all the time. So Anti-Mage banned out. And then Newbee, they do have last pick. In which they're going to go with the Witch Doctor.
LGD's turn to pick.
So Witch Doctor, Morphling, Puck, Earth Spirit, Legion. Kind of like this draft. Definitely a little bit of time for Morphling to come online, but Puck hits hard early. Once you get that duel from Legion Commander, you can do a little bit with that, and Witch Doctor coming over with Earth Spirit isn't too bad either. You've got the Coconut, as well as the Rolling Boulder. That works well with Newbee, as well as the Waning Rift as a silence. So one silence here for Newbee. For LGD, just stuns. And they're going to go Terrorblade, which was banned out in that second game. So Terrorblade, DK, Sand King, Lena, Monkey King. So that's safe lane, Terrorblade, mid Dragonite, off lane, Sand King 4 and 4-5, Monkey King, Lena. And then for Newbee, your supports are Witch Doctor, Earth Spirit, mid Puck, safe lane, Morphling, off lane, Legion Commander. And with Newbee having a 2-0 lead, we'll see how they take this draft. See if they do seal it up 3-0. And the thing is, Terrorblade's going to push hard. And push hard early. So Morphling, he might not get that time to come online.
5 seconds remaining.
Which could ultimately prove to be a struggle for Newbee. I like the fact that they have the duel. If they can get the kill quick enough on Terrorblade, the duel there is going to be nice. But he might not be your dual target, considering the amount of stuns that are available for LGD. So, I guess overall, I do like this LGD draft a little bit more than Newbee. And maybe this is going to go game 4. So let's take a look at who's on what. We take a look at the Puck. He's going to be played by KP. So it's an off-lane Puck. Safe lane, Morphling, mid, Legion Commander. Interesting. So Kaka back on that Earth Spirit. Faith is going to be playing the Witch Doctor. SCCC is going to be on the Legion. U9 on the Morphling. We take a look over at the other side. As Amelina is going to be Yao. Yao spotted by Kaka. There's going to be the Rolling Boulder. Light Strike Array is going to hit from Yao. Yao is the support for LGD. And then over on the Monkey King is going to be Victoria. Dragonite played by Maybe. Old 11 offlane with that. Sand King. And finally Terrorblade played by Ame. So definitely interesting positioning from Newbee. We do see that offlane Puck. It's going to be offlane KP with the Puck, and we'll have to see how that works out. Maybe they just feel comfortable with the Puck up against this Terrorblade. I'm not too sure how I feel about Puck against Terrorblade. I think Terrorblade hits hard early, especially with Metamorphosis. It could ultimately serve to be some trouble for Newbee.
The battle begins.
So 2 bounty runes go for each side, the mid and the safe laner. We'll have to see. It's interesting. Interesting that Legion's going to be mid up against this Dragonite. I don't suspect that Dragonite really has the advantage in this lane. Of course, Monkey King and Lina can make the rotation over and make this a pain on SCCC. But with both the Earth Spirit as well as the Witch Doctor, I wouldn't be surprised to see big rotations come out from Newbee, from Kaka and the Witch Doctor. So already U9 taking a little bit of harass, and with him is going to be Faith. He does have one in the Paralyzing Cask. We'll have to see how they do up against this lineup of Old 11 and Yao. They have the stuns to really line up, Burrow Strike as well as the Light Strike Array. And then we take a look over bottom as KP already taking a lot of strikes. 3 in that Jingu Mastery, as well as the Metamorphosis already out here for Ame. So Kaka and KP have to be careful. Meanwhile, up top, Faith, one more hit would have done it. But they're not going to get the kill on this Witch Doctor, and he might just get himself 100 gold here, and then maybe back off. So again, there is a lot of potential for kills here for Newbee. If they get the rotations from Kaka and the Witch Doctor, but if not, LGD, their laning phase should work out for them pretty well. Terrorblade's a very good laner. Here together with both the Sand King as well as the Lina should work wonders up against Witch Doctor and Morphling. Morphling only at 3 and 2, so still struggling in the early goings. And we take a look over mid, as it should just be a back and forth between these two mid heroes, and it already is. 12 and 1 for the Dragon Knight, and then 10 and 2 for SCCC. So for Newbee, I do believe that they're going to have to try and take this game a little bit later. Hope that they can get the right Dream Coils off and have Morphling come in. There's the Primal Spring. Phase Shift going to avoid the slow. Jingu Mastery hit just once on KP. They're going to look for the Boulder Smash. They are going to get it on Victoria as well as the Rolling Boulder. They're going to try and get themselves a kill with the Illusory Orb. The Jingu Mastery comes out, but it's not going to be enough. So now Ame going to try and turn it around and find himself a kill on one of these heroes on Newbee. Hits away at Kaka, but they're not going to be able to get anything in return. So 1-0 in favor of Newbee already. And an early game in a laning phase that shouldn't exactly go their way, all of a sudden, it looks a little bit better for them. Take a look over. Paralyzing Cast comes out. Old 11 actually in a bit of trouble. He's going to use that Burrow Strike. Now here comes the Primal Spring. Faith. He gets slowed up by the Primal Spring. Light Strike Array is not going to hit, so Faith should be alright getting back to tower, as the Jingu Mastery is not going to pop. So for Newbee, there's a lot of pressure coming up top. There's a tri-lane now of Old 11, Yao, and Victoria. That kind of leaves some opportunity bottom for a kill on Ame, and that's exactly what they're going to try and do. They got the illusory over as well as Kaka, who might be looking for a boulder smash. He doesn't actually have rolling boulder or boulder smash available, but here he comes. Salve is going to be used, and now KP is going to be very low. There's the phase shift, and that will keep him alive just by one hit, as Kaka does get the final blow out on Ame. So they're still trying to scout on Faith, who's going to sit very close to this top tier 1. Really doesn't want to let this tri-lane take advantage at all of any rotations coming out. And they're going to be forced out as Newbee looking for the Primal Spring still, going under this tower, looking for the Burrow Strike. There's the Paralyzing Cask, and now U9 hits away at it. The Rolling Boulder comes in as well as the Boulder Smash. They get the return kill on Old 11, but now it looks as though they're going to give up one in Kaka. U9 getting very low. Can he get a kill on Yao? That's the question. He's going to eat that Tango. He has waveform, moves forward, gets the kill. Here comes the rotation coming through from Faith one more time, but unfortunately, he's going to Primal Spring into those trees, or just jump up into those trees. And we're not going to have the nice one more time Daft Punk Jubilee. So now 4-2 in favor of Newbee. As we take a look over again mid, SCCC up against Maybe. And let's see, what is this right now that's kind of making this? It's the sword. So we took a look over. Maybe he's about to hit level 6. SCCC is about to hit level 6 as well. We'll have that duel, and we'll see if they get the immediate rotations coming out from their Legion commander. So Paralyzing Cast comes through, just going to bounce back and forth for a moment. Just using Maledict to tick away at Old 11, and coming through is going to be Yao. See if they go for anything out on Faith. He's not the strongest of heroes, but with U9 in the protection, and now with that Ring of Health, they are going to have to watch out. As meanwhile, over mid, SCCC is going to come over, use himself that press the attack. Now over top is going to be Kaka. So they're going to look for a Rolling Boulder as well as a Paralyzing Cast. There's the Paralyzing Cast bouncing around these creeps as well as the Maledict. They get the waveform. Boulder Smash comes in. They'll get the kill on Old 11. And Victoria shows himself, but I'm not too sure they're going to get anything out of it. They look for the duel, but just getting into those trees is going to be the Monkey King. So SCCC getting very close to getting that duel, and only 6 minutes in. And this is Legion Commander who's got level 6 early on, sometimes struggles to get that level 6 in the off-lane role. And let's see if the Legion Commander SCCC can use the early level 6 to get some nice duel damage while progressing through this game. So over on Ame, he's got himself that Terror Blade. He's moved over to the jungle. He's going to try and clean up this stack with Metamorphosis. That shouldn't be too hard for him. Meanwhile, under tower, SCCC, not too sure you want to go in for that duel. He's going to back away as the rotation comes through. They're going to stop the TP. We take a look up top. Nobody here, just maybe looking to take out this tower. So now over mid is U9. They're going to keep the pressure over on mid with both the Legion Commander and the Morphling here. Dragon Slave going to be thrown their way. And there's the press the attack on the catapult, just continuing to rain damage out on this mid-tier 1. They're going to lose their tier 1 up top, but let's see. Can Newbee take advantage of the rotations that came out from LGD up top? So up top still is going to be Faith. He's level 4. We take a look over at Old 11. Who is only level 5, not level 6 just yet. Going to grab this bounty rune. No, actually going to go the way of Maybe, so he's not going to get level 6. But Maybe's coming over, and Elder Dragon form is going to run out in just a moment. Victoria is here. There's the Rolling Boulder forward. It's going to land on Maybe. There's the Breathe Fire. So Kaka gets the Geomagnetic Grip out on 2 to get the silence, but the Dragon Slave's there. Kaka, one more shot, and down he'll go to Victoria. And KP does have that Dream Coil if they choose to turn this around. So it's a kill going out for LGD. And, you know, they've kind of pulled back this game as we switched over the net worth 9 minutes in. There's the paralyzing cast, gold 11. He's going to have to burrow strike away. It's under sentry ward vision and now knows it. What was I going to say? Here it is. Net worth is 1,500 in favor of LGD as well as 600 in experience. Coming over is 3 on Newbee. They're going to look to get this rolling boulder as well as the boulder smash. Old 11, he doesn't have enough for that burrow strike, so they might know this early on. There's the geomagnetic grip. They're going to get Old 11 silenced up. Still now has this boulder, this burrow strike, and he's going to burrow strike away, but with the waveform and the maledict, there's the first tick, and there's the death. So it works out very well for Newbee there. Meanwhile, down bottom, Ame just continuing to farm. He's looking for that early Dragonlance, but again, Newbee doing a very good job of kind of countering this lineup thus far on of LGD. They're going to come over bottom, Victoria, Yao, and maybe they're going to look to get a kill bottom on KP. But he's a tough target to kill. If he throws that illusory orb out, all of a sudden it will change. But the balance strike comes out on Kaka. They get the stun, and they should be able to get the kill. And with the breathe fire, it is there, and KP now knows they're around the corner. He's going to try and get out. Let's see if he can. Now there's the illusory orb as well as the phase shift, and he'll jump to it and find himself a nice escape. So tier 1, it's going to be glyphed up as Ame's used that metamorphosis. They've got the Elder Dragon form, but I'm not too sure they can push with it at the moment as Newbee. 3 of them are here. So they have, however, have to watch out as there is the double damage out on the Dragon Knight. And up top is both Old 11 and Monkey King. So they look over at Faith. They're going to get that Burrow Strike. They're going to use the Epicenter, but there's the Paralyzing Cask. Epicenter is going to come on through anyway. Now the Waveform, Old 11, he's going to be saved by the Balance Strike, but there's the Dream Coil, and Victoria, he'll be finished off by U9. So actually, we take a look down low. There it is with the duel. Maybe he's still going to survive, and now he's silenced up by the Geomagnetic Grip. Magnetizes out on him, but there's the Breathe Fire as well as the Light Strike Array. They've left Kaka to his own demise, and SCCC as well as Faith just run away. No ulti yet for Faith, so they couldn't really turn it around. So 7-6, and Newbee down about 2,500 net worth. But again, this is a game where Newbee kind of want to take it later. They know early they're going to struggle up against this LGD lineup. So they've got enough to get that Perseverance out on Morphling. And he picks it up, and he still wants to get that Lincoln Sphere, which will be very nice for him in terms of really avoiding the stun to Dragonite and avoiding the Laguna Blade and possibly the Sunder. So Old 11 is here as well as Yao. Meanwhile, bottom it is Maybe and Victoria. So they're going to just continue to farm, but again, Newbee, they want to lengthen this game and hope to make something happen as they hit probably around that 25-minute mark. They really want to start getting dual damage out for SCCC. So the rotations come over mid for LGD. They're going to use Yao and maybe to come on over. There it is, Elder Dragon form as well as the Metamorphosis. So is there anything that Newbee can really do to stop this? They're going to throw the Paralyzing Casket and bounce around a couple of times. But other than that, not really much of a defense coming out from Newbee. So it's very hard at the moment for Newbee to really stutter this push from LGD. They're going to continue in. There it is with the stun as well as the balance strike. They're going to get the rolling boulder, but it's not going to hit, as well as the boulder smash. But now under the ulti of Victoria, already taken out is the Legion Commander. So they're going to get this stun as well as the breathe fire out on Kaka, and despite being hit with that magnetize and getting quite low, no kills go the way of Newbee, and now LGD, they might as well look to push or just back off and take their winnings and roll. They've been leaving Morphling to kind of farm up as much as he can. He still doesn't have enough for that ulti orb. And he really wants to get this Lincoln Sphere as quickly as he can. But Old 11 coming from the back end. And let's see. No Burrow Strike. And Newbee, again, they have to look to slow down this game. Top 3 of the net worth is all LGD. And that's really not a good sign if you're Newbee. You want at least maybe the Legion Commander close. And Morphling kind of up there as well. And he's just going to surpass the Sand King for now. So U9, he's still alive, still farming away. And that's the silver lining for Newbee at this moment. So they want to continue to have him farm and eventually get that Lincoln Sphere. And that might be where they feel a little bit more comfortable going for something. And there's the Epicenter getting charged up, as well as the Barrel Strike going to come on through. But the press of the attack is going to be out for SCCC. That'll keep him alive for the moment. But they're not going to be able to keep him alive in full. He'll fall. And now KP is going to be hit by that stun. Coming over with the Barrel Strike is going to be Old 11. And they get the Breathe Fire as well as Ame getting that bounty rune. So it will be the kill for maybe out on KP. So now 10-7 in favor of LGD. So now they get the ulti thrown from Witch Doctor. They get a kill on Ame. That's actually huge. Meanwhile, Victoria is going to get the return kill on Faith. They get the Morphling out, but a kill on Ame is very big for this team of Newbee. It stunts the forward motion of Terrorblade for 30 seconds. Kind of opens up the map a little bit more for U9. And he'll continue to work on that Lincoln Sphere. So now he's got enough for that ulti orb. He's got to work towards the Lincoln Sphere recipe, which is another 1,000 gold. And if he can find it, maybe we see Newbee want to start to fight. Old 11, he's got that blink and is actually going to go Midas afterwards. That's an interesting play. Not too sure how much I agree with that. So, you take a look over at KP. He's got himself the Midas, almost a Blink Dagger. And then let's take a look at his counterpart in the off lane, which was Old 11. I said he does have that Blink Dagger. And then we take a look over at Maybe, who is going for the BKB next. And Terrible, who's got that Dragon Lance already, and the Yasha. And they're going to head over towards Roche and try and take the first Aegis of the game. So this would be a good time for Newbee to kind of show something in getting themselves a nice Dream Coil in a team fight. But they'll take the tier 1 tower bottom and actually just look to continue farming away, as they've almost got this Lincoln Sphere finished. And there it is. So they'll finally get themselves the Aegis. And LGD, it's an Aegis out on Terrorblade, and they might look to be aggressive. There's no reason not to be, as Newbee is pretty far behind. U9 going to continue to push this tier 2, and this is exactly what Newbee need to really counter LGD's early game ability at this moment in the game. So U9 going to continue to push. The Glyph is there. They're going to try and get something in. The Courier is going to bring in that Lincoln Sphere. So now it's going to be Pop. The Balance Strike comes through, as well as the Wukong's Command. They're going to get the Epicenter as well as the Laguna Blade. They've used everything on U9, but U9 is going to still continue to move on forward. He's going to get the Waveform out, and Faith, he's going to be not able to TP out, but still U9 survives. And he's going for that E-Blade next. So U9 just gets that Lincoln Sphere coming in from the courier. Nobody takes it out as it flies past the entire side of LGD. He gets that Lincoln Sphere, and that's basically what saves his life. So top of the net worth are DK as well as the Terrorblade. Terrorblade has that Aegis. He's looking for a Manta style of his own, and for DK, he's going for the BKB. So definitely some opportunity for Newbee to find a fight or so. They try to get the Boulder Smash to hit on Victoria, but not going to land, and Newbee will not be able to find themselves or net themselves a kill. But still they look over, and still they look to fight. Meanwhile, up top, U9's just going to continue to farm. So the pressure's coming in bottom. They want the rotations from LGD. Meanwhile, U9 Primal Spring bottom's going to show himself. Does have Adaptive Strike if he wants to go in on M99, which is Victoria. But he just sits nearby as the rest of his team pushes out bottom. We actually take a look up top as now they're going to get the Primal Spring to come out again on U9. And now he's going to eat that Jingu Mastery, but Ame is here. So U9 a very hard target to kill, and next with that E-Blade, we'll see if it becomes even more trouble for LGD to find anything onto this Morphling U9. Right now, Newbee, they're making their time, and they're doing a pretty good job of it. They don't have any dual damage out on SCCC just yet, but they're going to look for this smoke, maybe look for the first dual damage of the game. No Blink Dagger just yet for this Legion Commander. They're going to need it to work with the Blink Dream Coil of Newbee, and that's where they're going to work. They're going to get the Dream Coil out on just one. They get the ulti coming in from the Witch Doctor, and no dual damage, but Old 11, he's going to eat a lot of damage coming in from Faith. Coming over is Maybe. He's going to pop that BKB. KP, he's pretty much dead to rights, but there's the phase shift. Not going to be able to get into that Illusory Orb. Faith, he'll be able to TP out. And again, LGD, they'll trade 1 for 1. Maybe KP should have been able to get out of that, but they didn't get the Dream Coil out on Monkey King. And no U9 to show up to really save the day on that one. So Metamorphosis again from Ame. And again, Ame will work on this Tier 2. And at this point, you need to know on Newbee that you're going to lose these Tier 2 towers pretty quickly in succession. Lost the mid-Tier 2. Now bottom and top still stand, but they've taken a chunk of damage in their own right. So the Ghost Scepter is here for U9. Now needs this Eagle Song, so 30,000 gold away. And let's see if U9 can do it. Meanwhile, Epicenter is going to be charged up as well as the Barrel Strike. Metamorphosis is going to hit away at SCCC. They'll take out this Legion Commander again. Wukong's command is around the entire fight. And they'll get themselves yet another kill. So Breathe fires out on U9. Maybe not the best choice for him to want to go in on this. And luckily for him, Elder Dragon form is on cooldown. Oh boy, Primal Spring and U9. He's in a bit of trouble. Burrow Strike comes through. The Lincolns is popped. There's the Balance Strike, and Jingu Mastery is there. He really needs to waveform out. He does, gets the TP, and U9 will be able to get out. So it was in a bunch of trouble there. And now, on top of that, they're going to lose their Tier 2 tower top. So Morph, U9 still trying to make time for his team. Meanwhile, up top, they're not going to go for this Tier 3 just yet, as Newbee are trying to just hold out for now, and they're going to push bottom to force out some rotations and open up the map for this Morphling. So the fight's actually going to happen on SCCC. They're going to get the nice Paralyzing Cast, going to jump around. SCC, you're going to purge himself up, but again, he is dead, and this Legion Commander now 0-4. We'll try to take a Tier 2 tower of their own bottom, and we'll successfully get it, so that gets them a little bit of gold net worth netted up. Now there's a nice Geomagnetic Grip as well as the Boulder Smash out on Ame. And Ame, he has Metamorphosis for quite some time. They're working on this Tier 3 tower already. He's going to blink in with the Waning Rift, going to delete out those illusions. and now going to get himself a little bit more mana, but they've already lost his tier 3. There's the Paralyzing Cast coming out on Maybe, but now the stun comes on through on this Puck. Puck going to get low to about half health. The Balance Strike follows it up, and now there's the Burrow Strike, but not going to hit on KP, who's used that Phase Shift. They've got the Dream Coil out on 2. It's going to snap onto this Dragonite, but again, they take this Rax with ease. They don't even lose anybody running away. And really just an inadequate fight from Newbee. So they continue to come on in. There's the Boulder Smash as well as the Magnetized Geomagnetic Grip, but now he's going to be hit by that Boulder Smash, and now there's the Purge from the Legion Commander. He's finally going to get himself a duel on Yao. Can they finish him off? He will get dual damage. Here comes the ulti. It's going to strike on Maybe, but the Epicenter follows it up as well as a 2-man Burrow Strike. Coming in with a Waning Rift is going to be KP, but how much can he do? And it doesn't look as though it's going to be much. SCCC is going to be using that Armlet, going to find himself something, but die to the Burrow Strike. Meanwhile, off screen, Ami's going to get a kill on U9, and that's exactly the opposite of what Newbee need. KP the last one alive, and he'll use that Waning Rift to finish off Sand King. So KP... the only one to survive that entire fight as Morphling fell bottom. That's really ultimately an issue for Newbee, who really want to force themselves back into it in the late game, as that stutters the farm of Morphling. So if Morphling can find a little bit more space, get himself that E-Blade, maybe the tide turns for Newbee. But again, it's going to be a tough road ahead for Newbee. They've already lost the racks up top, and the shrines are open and available to be taken out. So let's see if LGD want to keep the pressure on. They've got the Terrorblade. He's got himself that Diffusal, Manta, and Dragonlance. He is farming at such a great rate, and so is this Sand King, who's now finally found himself an Axe. Blink, Burrow Strike all the way over. Gonna push out Faith with that Boulder Smash. Actually save his life, as meanwhile over bottom is gonna be KP. He's gonna have to Illusory Orb to safety, but the big, long Burrow Strike is gonna hit on KP. So let's see what LGD can do. Looking for this second set of racks. Newbee, they're going to have to defend this time around. Still do not have this E-Blade up and running. Actually, bottom, U9 is going to continue to push this creep wave all the way to the tier 3 tower. Chips down at it a little bit. Forces the Sand King out, and U9 200 gold away from getting this E-Blade finished in full. So LGD, they back up, take this shrine. They know that now you can't really defend Roche if you're Newbee, but U9 will take this time to farm. Courier is here, just in case. There it is. There's the E-Blade finished. And let's see what Morphling can do now with this E-Blade on top of the Lincoln Sphere. He's going to continue to push bottom. He wants to rat out this game as long as he can and try and get as much farm as he can moving forward. If he can continue to force out the rotations of LGD, make them a little bit more uncomfortable going for these racks in mid and bottom, all of a sudden Newbee might be able to win some fights. But now they're up against the Aegis, which is kind of frustrating. The push is coming in from Newbee over mid, but U9 going to continue to push bottom. Cleans up this creep wave, and now he works on a tier 3 of his own. But this means that LGD know they need to make a move. They're going to get the stun up as well as the Metamorphosis out from Ame. So So now they go for this tier 3. The Glyph's going to hold it for just a moment. There's the Blink in with the Waning Rift coming out on a couple. Light Strike Array is going to hit on 2, and they've already got themselves the ult coming in from the Witch Doctor. They got the Dream Coil out on a couple. The Sunder's going to be on Ame towards Victoria to get him back up to full. And now they're looking to maybe get a couple on the retreat as they fully buy back on Newbee. They blink in with the Waning Rift. Illusory Orb out. Silenced up is maybe, and they only lose the tier 3 mid. So they do buy back 2, which is not really what they wanted. But they do hold the racks over mid, which is in itself a concession prize. Not a concession prize, because concession is a concession stand. And that is food. I get a second place prize in holding the racks. I can't remember the word I want to say right now. So 4-man smoke from Newbee. They need a couple of kills to really pull themselves back in. The net worths of LGD and the net worth lead of 20,000 for LGD is hard to bear for Newbee. So they're going to continue to push, and Newbee's going to wait on the side with that smoke, but the scan, oh, perfectly placed. That'll spot out Newbee. So now they know they're there, and let's see if LGD, they're going to make their way straight over. They're actually just continuing over down mid. Meanwhile, SCCC, he'll clean up the creep wave bottom.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
And it looks as though U9 is going to just try and cut off these creeps. Take a look over mid. There's the Illusory Orb as well as the Phase Shift. Metamorphosis comes out again from Ame. Let's try and work on this Rax. Burrow Strike comes on through on KP. He's going to be purged up to get that Phase Shift off. There's the Breathe Fire out on Faith. Faith's going to be the first one to fall. The Laguna Blade comes out on KP. They're going to get themselves a second kill. Meanwhile, there are 2 Dream Coiled up, but they're going to take the Rax anyway. They do use the stun out onto this Illusion. But again, they're looking for more. They'll get one in. Kaka's going to use that Magnetize. He's actually still alive. U9 in a bit of trouble. He's getting very low. There's the Sunder. And you Sunder right before you get dueled. That's going to be a nice kill for Ame. And that's going to be GG called by Newbee as they all get wiped here. Nobody dead on LGD. So LGD win their first game. Newbee's draft a little bit weak. And we'll be back with Game 4 in just a moment as I'm your caster, BCop, at BCop92 on Twitter. Follow me there. All criticism is welcome. And we're going to be going into a Game 4 next between Newbee and LGD in this best of 5. Stay right there.